In closing this part of the CD-ROM, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what is known as qualitative analysis and decision making. For those of you who are novices, that is, that you are just beginning to learn how to use an informal reading inventory, you are at what is known as the mechanical quantitative level. That is, your concerns are with where do I start? How do I mark the errors? When do I stop? How do I mark or move into part two? And how do I mark the words on part two and do the questions? It's all at a mechanical quantitative level. For example, on part one, the graded word lists, the quantitative would come in where you are asked to stop when the student reaches 75% or less. That's simply quantitative. There is another side to individual testing, and that is the qualitative decision-making side of individual testing. It takes you a while at the mechanical quantitative level before you're really ready to be concerned with this part of it. By a while, I mean 10 or 12 administrations of the classroom reading inventory until you get fairly smooth, comfortable, secure with what you're doing in how to administer the test. But now there is this other side to it. And the main part of individual testing is making decisions about the results that you get. And in order to help you make those decisions, you must do or be aware of the qualitative side of it. For example, on the graded word lists at the mechanical quantitative level, it says that you stop where the person has reached 75% or less. Let's say that we have two students. Both are at the 75% on, say, the second grade level. The one student, his reading of the material, that is, his calling of the words from the lists, was hesitant, and the 5 errors were all significant word recognition errors. They were high-weighted errors. And again, as I said, even with those words that he recognized, he didn't give them in a rapid fashion. He hesitated on most of them. My decision would be that, all right, I will stop at the second grade level with this student. However, the other student at 75%, also at the second grade level, 2 of his 5 errors were low-weighted errors. He left the ending off one word, which occasionally, that done occasionally is a low-weighted error. He self-corrected a word. That also is a low-weighted error. Also, his reading of the material was out, or his calling of the words was without hesitation. So I make the decision that I will go on with him to the next level, even though when you were doing it at the mechanical level, you had to stop there. The way you make decisions is by using the qualitative data. And on part 1, you began to see some of the indications that I gave you. Not that they said the word, but was it hesitant or was it without hesitation? Let's look at the graded paragraphs. Better examples of qualitative analysis are there. On the graded paragraphs, does the person read fluently and expressively, or is their reading word by word? Do they finger point? Do they ignore punctuation? Is the reading kind of jerky? That is, the phrasing is awkward and they're breaking up the sentences in a very awkward manner. Does the student appear to be anxious? I've tested many children that when they get into the reading situation, that is on the graded paragraphs, they become anxious and their voice drops down. This is an indication of anxiety. I've had children who sit there and they pluck the hairs out of their arms, another indication of anxiety. So when you look at the scoring guide, where you see that it may say independent for word recognition errors, it may say independent 2 errors, instructional 6 errors. What if the person makes 4 errors? You're in the cracks. How do you make a decision whether you're going to call it independent or instructional? To make that decision, you then need the qualitative data. This person made 4 errors, but his reading was fluent and expressive, and I will judge him to be independent. Another person made 4 errors, and we're talking about significant word recognition errors, but the reading was awkward, jerky, word by word, a lot of hesitations. He finger pointed, he ignored punctuation. That person, I make the decision to be instructional. The heart of individual testing is decision making. You make the decisions. In those of you who are teachers now or are to become teachers, those of you who are teachers now will be familiar with norm reference tests. That is, and those of you to become teachers will have to give a test like the Iowa Test of Basic Skills, which is called a norm reference test. These tests, there is no decision making on the part of the teacher, because the manual tells you what to say to the children. It tells you when to start, when to stop, pencils down, close your books, that kind of thing. The only decision that you're likely to make on norm reference testing, like the Iowa Test of Basic Skills, may be a decision on seating. I'm not going to have Ira sit next to Benji because they'll be poking one another. But other than that, you make no decisions. But the heart of individual testing is decision making, and to do that, you must pay attention to the qualitative aspects of it. As you become comfortable at the mechanical quantitative level, you will begin to become more and more aware of the qualitative aspects. Thank you so much for watching the CD-ROM, and I hope that this will help you in your instructions and in your deliverance of the administration of the test. I welcome your comments. Feel free to call me at any time. My office phone number, the area code is 816-235-2482. 816-235-2482. Or you can email me at wheelockw@umkc.edu. That's wheelockw@umkc.edu. Mucha suerte, good luck, and thank you.